believe this? My thing just popped off. You know that's a motherfucker hater, cause baby, that thing just popped off like that, huh? Yo, oh my god, you guys. I just bought a new camera stick, and for the life of me, it just literally just popped off and broke. I guess somebody was like, oh, you gonna talk shit online? Well, we're going to take whatever the hell this you're using away from you. Now I can't get my camera to stay without it clicking over. Like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Okay, so we're just gonna have to do it like this for now. But it's gonna be leaning this way. As you can see, I redid my hair, you guys. Hopefully it is better. I know it's better because I did not like how it was looking online, on live. So I went back and did it. And I figured out the braiding pattern, like how you braid your own hair is how it's gonna like really look, how the weave is gonna lay. So I was like, oh, I'm happy I did that. So it looks a whole lot better now. I just came from a date, which was amazing. But you know what I'm getting tired of? I'm getting tired of dating. Like I want my husband. I want my third husband. I want him wherever he is. You know, the one that everybody's trying to like keep me and him away from each other. That's what I want. I'm ready. I'm ready for love. I think I did enough healing. I went 2 years and 6 months without anybody, and like without talking to anybody, you know, like doing anything with anybody. And then, you know, I moved from Charlotte to Atlanta. When I was in Atlanta, you know, as luck have it, I happened to bump into someone, and it was so weird. It felt like that person was like a mix of my father and of my son. And, you know, and I was stressful. So I was like, you know what? I chose him. And all I wanted, all I wanted to do was experience a nice little relaxation, you know, have my little, you know, my you know, kiss and you know, loved. And the next thing I know, that turned into like something intimate, and I don't regret it. But you know what I realized about me? I love a pretty manhood. I love a pretty tip, you know, the fall, you know, the shape, the mushroom shape. Oh, that is pretty. I love that. I realized I love a pretty dick. Like I want to see, I love a pretty cut, clean. Oh, it's so pretty. That's one thing I require from now on is a pretty dick. Cause it's nothing like having a pretty, thick, juicy, nice, girthy flower, you know? And I'm like, wow, I was impressed. I was like, okay. And then on top of that, to have it where it fits so well and where it was like clean, where it was disease free. Now after me, I don't know, but while with me, I know, you know, it was disease free and pretty. Um, and doing me, it was pretty and free of all, you know. But oh, there go the phone again, leaning. I swear to you, I can't, it's like I I bring something nice to enjoy myself, and then boom, it the phone just like broke. The camera phone, I meant. So I realized that. I was like, oh my God. I was so stressed. I was like, you know what? I'm going through so much. And after holding it out for 2 years and 6 months and not like having nobody touch it, feel it, smell it, even look at it, I was like, when I met him, it was a situation. I felt like, okay, he kind of like, I know it was like all in my head, but I felt like he kind of like was my lifeline because I needed a little bit of to keep me going. And I feel like my creator and my spirit knew I needed that. Even though he was sent to me, even though, after like going without any intimacy for 2 years and 6 months, a lot of people wanted me to be like, okay, just they wanted me to go back into that whole lifestyle of, whatever they want to call it. But then I was like, you know what? I'm not really that kind of a person. And I just cut it off, period. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to cut off intimacy. I'm going to cut off everything. I'm going to cut off, even men would come up to me and be like, hey, cutie, how are you, gorgeous? Can I take you out? I was like, no. I was turning them left and right. I was like, no, I'm going to just take that time to heal and get to know myself all over again and get to treat myself like I should. And I did that. And when I was going through what I went through after losing my job, getting in that fight at work, and, losing everything, I came to Atlanta and I was like, you know what? I'm going to hold it out. I told myself I was going to hold it out. I was like, I'm just going to I told myself I was going to hold it out for one special person, and I had an idea. I saw him. I truly believe I manifest him into my reality. I would watch him online. I would, and in my mind, I felt like he knew that I knew that we were somehow communicating telepathically in another reality, in another realm. And I felt like he kind of like sensed that I was, I don't know, like in his eyes look familiar. I don't know how, but it's like I know him. And I could not understand how I know him. And I feel like he knows of me too. But because of his status and because of the people around him, I felt like people were going around telling him the bad things about me or setting an image of me that wasn't true. And it was like when they saw that I was being what is it called, without having intimacy, when they saw that I was holding myself and not even entertaining anyone, what they told him, they were like, oh, he's gonna think that we're liars, so we're going to make everything possible for our words to be fulfilled. So I believe they told him I was all this, like Jezebel, all of this, and I was out here just sleeping with anybody and everybody. And when they saw that I was really like just abstinence and not having no kind of intimacy, they were like, oh no, we can't have that. We have to make something happen because he's gonna think that we're a liar. This is what I'm thinking. That was their play. I have to hold my phone like this because my camera stand is broken. After yesterday, after I got off live, all of a sudden my camera stand is broken. So yeah, that's another thing. Anyways, so I believe that's what they were feeding him because they didn't want him and I to come together. And in my situation, I kind of was like, maybe, maybe he really doesn't know of me. Maybe this is all in my head. But I should have known that it wasn't all in my head because I really truly believe that I brought him into my reality. And I truly believe till now that he is my husband. But I notice every time, even with like a celebrity, as you guys would call it, even if I was to have like a crush, at my age, yes, I still have crush. The hell? What I do is what I do, okay? Even if I was to mention that, oh my God, this celebrity is cute online, right? The next thing I know, I'm strolling up, I would see that same celebrity that I said, oh, is cute, with a woman. It happened every time. It's like every time I mention, oh, this person is cute, there they are on the next page with this other, with their woman, or a woman that is their handler, or somebody that is their handler. And I think that's so funny. It's like, even me mentioning that I like someone, the next thing you know, they with a woman, they have a girlfriend, they, they have this and that. And I'm like, I laugh at it. So I believe that's what they were telling him, or that's what they were trying to, like, they were trying to place a bad taste in his mouth for me. They were telling him, oh, she's nothing but a loose woman, or this and that, and you can't be where you want to be in life with her. If you want to go ahead and be, famous or well known, then this kind of woman is not the woman that you need. And sometimes that's kind of like some people, those who are not really well in their mind, will settle for that. And I think I don't know, I'm not going to say, because we haven't came together yet. But then when I realized, after everything that I'm going through, and he just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger in status, and I'm over here like struggling and struggling, and I'm like, there is no way this person knows me or knows of me. And it's so weird. So I settled. I settled, and I said, you know what? There is no point of me holding myself for a man that may not even know me. So I was like, okay, well, I wasn't planning on giving myself up, but when the person walked into my life, I was like, okay, I need some kind of relief. Honestly, all I said was like, I'm just gonna have him eat it, because I was stressed. I was like, back it, 2 years, nothing. I'm stressed. I'm dealing with all of this. I'm just gonna hold on. I'm just gonna go ahead and just, I had it. I shave. I was like, I'm just gonna give it. I'm just gonna have him eat it and let me just release some kind of stress. Baby, when I tell you, when I saw that pretty dick, I was like, oh my God. And he had the muscles, the cut. You know how the men be having that little cut right here? I was like, oh my God. I realized two things about me. I love a man that's well fit, like he lean, not like that bulk muscle type thing, but I like a nice fit man. And I love the little cuts that they be having, like, right here. I love that part. And I love a pretty dick. When I say I love a pretty dick, I do. I really, really do. Ugh. He had a pretty dick. And I was like, okay, I deserve it. I deserve it. I'm gonna treat myself. And the way the way he worshiped me, and the way he was like tasting me, I felt like, okay, yeah, I deserve it. So, and plus, he was already sent into my life by, by other people that wanted to interrupt my love life, because they felt like I was close to meeting the one that they don't want me to be with. So they sent him into my life to kind of like put a pause into my love life, into my relationship. And I was like, okay. And that's when I was going through like the eviction, dealing with the young lady at the job that we got into the altercation. And then I moved from Charlotte to Atlanta, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna give into it. And I enjoyed every second of him. I enjoyed every minute of it. What they sent to like try to destroy me actually kind of saved me. I enjoyed, just, it was a life support to me. I felt like it was kind of like I was at my within, and my creator know that my creator knows me because it made me, so it knows that I needed some kind of like life support, and that was kind of my life support because I was, like I said, I was isolated. I didn't have anybody. I was, they purposely made sure that I was isolated, and only the people that they wanted me to interact with, that's who they sent into my reality. And they sent him. The first time I met him, I was on the train, and I was sleeping on the train, and he saw me, and he was like, hey, there's somebody in the back of you that, they've been looking at you all weird. I was like, oh, I don't care. I was so tired. I was going through stuff. And he was like, well, I don't want you to sleep on the train anymore. Just come with me. And to be honest with you, I was turning guys left and right. I was like, no, he wasn't the first person that asked me. And I was like, no, I'm just going to stay on the train, go to Planet Fitness, and go to work, and then ride the train until I can't ride the train no more, and then do the same thing every day until I get enough money for my, new car. So I don't know what made me say yes to him. So I followed him to his place. This is how, when I tell you, I am putting my angels, they having to work overtime. And when I tell you my angels are so, my angels of love and light and pure love and light, they are putting overtime when it comes to me. And I love every one of them. And I believe they love me with every adventure, every step that I take. So I followed him to his place. The first night, I went to sleep. The second night, I went to sleep, went to work, and he didn't have a car. Yes, he didn't have a car. But I was just grateful because I was off the train. I wasn't sleeping on the train, going to Planet Fitness, and then going to work. I had a place to take a shower and just kind of rest. I wasn't even thinking about like having intimacy. I saw him. When I first saw him, I was like, oh my God. When I actually like woke up the next day and I saw him, I was like, oh my God, he looks just like my father mixed with a image of my son. And I, in my head, in my Pisces head, I'm like, oh, my dad came to save me. This is all in my Pisces head, which is amazing. I love my mind. And I was like, this is my dad coming into another form to come and save me. This is my son coming into another form to come and save me, because they know I needed to get off the train and they knew something was going to happen. So they interrupt and came to save me. So I went to work. I came back the third day. I was like, oh, he took off. No, I was in the room. He went and took a shower and he took off his shirt. I was like, oh shit. I was like, wait a minute. You mean to tell me that's what you had underneath all those clothes you had on? And I didn't say nothing. And then like he came to lay down next to me, and I went to, like, before that I went and took a shower, and I haven't shaved her. I haven't shaved her in 2 years because I was like, I'm gonna shave her when I meet my third husband. I was saving it, I was saving her for him. And but little did I know that those that were working against me, they were whispering negative energy into his ear so he wouldn't recognize who I am. And he's trying to build his status and become well known. So I understood it. But when I met this other guy, I was like, okay, yeah, I deserve a little treat. So I went and took a shower, shaved her, cleaned her up, did my wash and everything. And I asked him, I don't know, like, I think I asked him for a massage. I was like, can you give me a massage? I'm so tired. And he massaged me. And then, like, the next thing I know, baby, he went down on me. And I done had some eaters. I thought I had the best eater in Jackson, Mississippi. No, not Jackson, Mississippi. He was number 3. But in Mobile, Alabama, I thought I had the best eater of all time. But then I met Atlanta, Georgia, and baby, Atlanta, Georgia was top tier. I was like, oh my God, I never in my life had anybody ate it like that. And it was such a pleasure. And I was like, okay, I gotta see what he's working. Because, us women, you're like, oh, let's see what he's working with, because you don't want to have like a good eater and then you find out he doesn't have nothing to work with. So when he took off those pants and I saw, he's a little bit lighter than me. When I saw, because normally I go for like dark skinned men. When I saw how pretty and girthy and just clean, it was just like, and then you know how they have that little fold, the little fold over, that little mushroom fold over. I saw that, my mouth began to water, and I was like, hold on. I was like, hold on. I need to. And I was like, the first 2 days, we used protection, and then I think after like the third time, we just went raw. For some reason, I feel like I know I have this special gift that I know who is sick and who is not. And I know he wasn't sick, and I know I wasn't sick because before I left, before I came to Charlotte, I got tested. That's when, everybody was like, oh, not everybody, but people wanted to believe that after I left like Jackson, Mississippi, and I was a night ballerina, they were like, oh, they had like this whole whisper that, oh, she's sick, she this and that and that. So when I went and got tested, right, all of my tests came back negative. Only except for one, it was bacteria or something like that, whatever. So I took a little pill, and that was it. Then all of a sudden, that's when the whole people started saying, oh, my chart is wrong, people are making fake. And I'm like, really? All of a sudden, you guys wasn't saying that before, but when all of my tests came back negative, all of a sudden people are stealing my charts and making fake my charts. And I was like, oh God, they don't want me to have nothing good. They wanted me to be sick and like nothing at all, except for, the regular woman stuff. And when that came back, oh no, my chart, people are stealing my chart and making fake my chart. And I'm like, whatever. And I'm like, here goes the system. Here goes the haters. Here go, not wanting to believe that I was safe and I wasn't as loose and sick as they are. And so by saying this, when I met him, I could sense, even by his ejaculation, you know how you could sense, you could smell from their ejaculation if there, something wrong. His ejaculation was, it was sweet. It was nice. So then like we started like really, really get into like, he was freaky. And I kind of like his freakiness because it wasn't like too much, but it was enough, like to, it was enough to match my freakiness. It wasn't like, oh, let me stick my finger up your ass or some shit like that. It was like a romantic kind of like freakness, and his men's side, it was like a glove. It fit me so well. My thing is pretty, his thing is pretty. They were talking to each other like, hey, was this you? I was like, yeah, that's you too. It was nice. And girl, I didn't care. I didn't care if he didn't have a car. Listen, I didn't care if I didn't care if I didn't have a car. I didn't care if he didn't have a car. I was like, I am willing to, you listen, you see this camera stay? I was like, I'm willing to walk. I was walking with this nigga. I was walking hands in hand, like, high school. Even though my ass is like 40, I was like walking hands in hand with him. I was like, nigga, you got 50 cents, I got 50 cents. We gonna put it and make it $1. That's why I understand now, you know, I never judge a woman by who she like, because you don't know who you're gonna like. And I kind of like that about life, because not because a man has money, you think you're gonna like him. It's all, to me, it's about like the initial attraction. If I'm attracted to you, I'm attracted to you. If I'm not, then I'm just not. No matter how much money you have, that's not gonna change. But I was walking with him. We were walking together at the bus stop to the train. He would walk me to the train station, to the bus stop. I was like, okay, I needed that moment. It's like it was a lifeline. You know how you was it? God, when you play $1 million, what is it? Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? And they throw you a lifeline. He was at that moment my lifeline, and I needed that. And then, things happen. That motherfucker was bipolar. I thought I was bipolar, but Jesus. And I was like, okay, I couldn't deal with the whole, I was like, yeah, I gotta, I had to leave. So, we parted our way. But to be honest with you, it was, I don't regret it. I won't go back, and I would not want him back because of, how we left things. We left things on a mutual understanding, where it was like, okay, we understood where each other stand, and I respect his opinion, and I believe he respect my opinion. I'm just gonna think of it that way. But to be honest with you, I don't regret, except for one person, the partners that I had in my life. I don't. I'm not gonna speak bad about them because I chose them. If people change, the only partner I would definitely change in my life is the first person I got married to. That I would change in a quick second, but then I would not have my kids. But anybody else that I had interaction with that I personally chose, I don't regret them because they were good to me. The moment that we did have, it was awesome. I'm not going to sit here and speak bad about the choices that I have made when it comes to my love life. And like when I tell you now, baby, I don't care if you guys say, oh, you're 40, you should settle for less, you shouldn't be picky about the man that you choose, your man shouldn't have a six-pack, and no, I want him because I feel like I take care of myself pretty well. Even in my situation, I take care of myself. And I deserve a man like that. I want a man when I come to bed. Why? When I tell you, I was in love with his body. And I was even in love with the whole bipolar until it got kind of like, and I was like, yeah, I love myself more than I love dick. I'm sorry, I am not dick crazy. I'm not, even though, his lip service had me not giving a damn if we were taking the bus and the train. And I was like, hey, baby, come on, let's fill out the application, let's do what we gotta do, let's get, I was I was like, listen, we can work this out. We could put my $2 and your $2, and we'll have $4, and we could turn that $4 into, 5,000. That was my frame of thought. But knowing me, every time every time I get with a man, it seems like I would have them, nobody sees them, right? Nobody would check on them to see how they look or whatever. But as soon as I get with them and I start making them look like how I see them, all of a sudden, here comes the exes, here comes the friends, here comes the neighbors, here comes, the whisper. And I haven't found one yet who can stand up to the challenge and say, you know what, I'm gonna stick with her because she saw me for who I am, while you guys didn't pay no attention to me. But I know he's out there, and that's the one that they don't want me to have. But I didn't regret it. I didn't regret getting. Ooh, that's why, I'm not gonna say love is not, it's not possible when an opposite, but I just don't understand like how other women, and I had my experience when I was in, like, when I was in college. I had my little experience with, with women, serving me. But it always felt kind of like uncomfortable, for me at least. But that's why I'm like trying to figure out, you can get the same thing from a man even better, but then you get that hardcore, that masculine energy, and you don't have no breasts on top of you. And on top of that, you get the warmth of a vein, of a thick, and you can feel the heat from it, instead of a plastic. But like I said, I'm not going to judge somebody else's love life because that's not mine to say. But when when I tell you, I never been loved like that physically by a man as I was with him. Even though, it was just like we would, one second we would laugh, and then this next second it was just like, and I don't do argument because I'm the type of person, once you start arguing and we start yelling, I zone out, and that's my cue to live the relationship, because I feel like I love me. You're not gonna stress me out. I'm not. I don't bring that to the table, and I feel like if you can't talk maturely, like we're two adults, then there's no need to continue the relationship, no matter how sweet. And it was so sweet, girl. Oh my God, you ever had somebody just on top of it? Like what? Girl, I ain't talking about a man that's gonna pat 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 you. I'm talking about a man that's gonna take their time. What is it called? Foreplay. Oh, and I think he was younger than me, but I didn't like know, like, foreplay and them taking their time, like they actually want to, not the ones that be like, nah, the one that feels like they actually want to eat it. And you could feel when a man, oh God, what is up with this? I just literally bought this camera stick, and for it to break is crazy. It broke right after my last live. For a man, you can literally feel when a man want to, like, really truly enjoy eating you, just like how a man can feel when a woman really enjoy, giving him blah, 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 and baby, I was like, oh my God. And I never had, people be like, oh, I like my toes sucked. I'd be like, ew, I don't want nobody to sucking on my toe, baby. After you don't have somebody lick you the right way and then they suck your toes, you'll be you gonna be like, baby, let's take the train. I don't give a damn. Let's take bus number 2. Let me God. I was like, what bus do we need to take? Bus number 2, number 3, number 4. Wait. And this is all after I saved myself for 2 years and 6 months. I was in Charlotte behaving like I was a saint. Because I like, after my last relationship in Montgomery, Alabama, which I thought I had the best eater in the world in Montgomery, Alabama. But then that's why I don't trip about like, a man leaving me or me leaving a man or them choosing to, because I feel like I had one good eater, I could have another one, and then if that doesn't work out, I'm gonna have another one that's probably better. So I'm not one, I never been one of those young, even as a young lady or even as a woman, I never was like the jealous type or dick crazy, because I feel like, it just keeps getting better. I'm not out here just slinging it out, but each partner that I would get with, even if it's a short term or long term relationship or marriage, it just keep getting better. So that's why in my mind that I would not go back, because I feel like I already had it. You already had me. It didn't work out. So it's a reason why it didn't work out. And there's nothing new that you could show me that I cannot experience with someone else who's gonna probably treat me better and service me better, But that doesn't mean that I'm gonna sit here and be like, oh, my partner wasn't shit, or my partner was this, my partner was that. No, because you're part of me. At that time, I chose you because that was a part of me that I needed, and you were the vessel to bring it to me. I needed him at that moment. I needed to see the image of my father within him. I needed to see the image of my son within him. Otherwise, I would have said no and just kept continue riding the train and probably was, stress myself out and probably, would not be here. So I felt like that was a part of me that knew for me to say yes to him, he had to look like my father who passed away. He had to look he had to look like my son, for me to even say yes to him, for me to even come close to him. So when I became close to him and comfortable enough to say, hey, I'm I choose you to give myself to, it was worth it. Every second, every minute, it was worth it. Of course, I went and got tested after him, and as always, good. I'm negative, clean. I'm good on everything. And if 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 you have, when I met you, you wasn't sick. After me, I don't know. Well, I'm not gonna discuss your business. That's up to you. But I just know that the next man, my next husband, because that's who I'm saving myself to, and I know who he is already, and he know who I am already. I really honestly know, because originally that's who I was saving myself for, was for him, but because of of people wanting to meet, was sending subliminal messages and all this, and not only to him but also to me, I was like, I settled. And that's when I didn't settle, but I was like, I'm already in my situation, you know. I didn't think of myself, I'm gonna be transparent, I was like, I didn't think of myself as a high value woman, as they quote unquote saying online, because I didn't have my stuff together, and I'm still trying to get myself together. So I was like, I might as well give up. And then I just completely gave. It's like as soon as I said I completely gave up on love, that's when boom, the second guy happened to show up. I said, oh, I give up on love. I'm tired. La la. Love is not gonna be saving me. Love is not true. Love is just all in my imagination. Blah blah blah. It's just a fairy tale. And everybody was just like pushing out oh, you when you 40, nobody's gonna value you. It was just like a lot of like it was just bombardal of negativity. Like now it's like, yeah. But then even though I love didn't last, I believe it was needed not only for me, also for him. It was like therapeutic in some kind of way. And then after, what happened, I just kept working. And now I'm like, I took like 6 or 7, I took 7 months without even um entertaining anyone. And I was like, no, I just need time. I kind of like gave myself time from him, from dealing with him, and to just, center myself all over. And then like today, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go out on a date. But then I went out. It was like, I, I don't like. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't feel like. I don't know. I've been saying I don't know a lot. That's my favorite word. It's fun. I just feel like mm, it's missing something, but I don't double back. You know, I really don't, because once I can't manipulate the first feeling I had for you, because it's not fake. It was, it's not like I was pretending. If I like you, I like you. And if you or, we both decide that we're not compatible and I walk away, it's not going to be the same as it was from the beginning. So, therefore, I stay away and I just keep the memory of the good time, instead of like, okay, instead of us having to, having the bad memory, I just keep the good memory of who and what you are, you know? And like, to be honest with you, the whole talking bad about your partner and your personal relationship or your sexual adventures is not a good thing to do, because like you chose that person and that is part of yourself also, right? That is part of yourself because you saw something in that person that you like. You saw yourself and that person that you like. That's what I would think when you choose to be intimate, especially without having protection and you're sharing fluid. I would think that you would pick someone that kind of like you saw something that they had that you like about yourself. Now, if it's just bam bam and you that's it's business. But and that's just what I was saying. So I just literally came back and I'm over here sitting like, huh, I'm ready. Like, I'm ready for my husband. I'm ready for my third husband. I'm ready to settle down. I'm ready for a true love. I'm ready to like bake cookies. I don't know about y'all females who's talking about, oh, you don't want to be a housewife. Baby, I want to be a housewife with high heels, apron, baking cookies and making tea. And, my husband, he's an entrepreneur, successful, wealthy leader, very protective of his family, which is me, our kids, and will put a bullet in your skull if you fuck around and find out about his woman and his family. And he's making the money and I'm, what I'm saying? Like, I'm ready. Like, where is that? I think we all deserve that, especially us women. We deserve that. I deserve the pink fence and, is it pink fence or is it white fence and a pony? I don't know, but I deserve the happiness. I really feel like I do because I put it out there. You know how they say karma, you give what you put out. I've been giving out good energy. Where is my return? And I feel like I'm manifesting and I'm putting good energy out there, but I'm not receiving it. I feel like my clones are receiving what I'm creating. And I'm like, no, that's not, I'm not gonna allow that. You don't have my authority. You're not the one putting in work. I am. So I'm like, no, I need all of that back. I need my new husband back. I need my everything that was taken from me back, everything that was stolen from me back. You could have the past lessons. I already learned from the past lessons. You can have them, but I deserve somebody who's gonna like, meet me where I am. And if karma is true, then the love that I've been putting out there, then hello, he is gonna be he is top tier. Long due. What's that Instagram where they be like having these dark skinned black men come out and you can hear the horse, and the horse be like, God, I be like, what? That trips me out. The first time I saw a video like a meme like that, I was like, oh my God, they really have the horse sound coming. I'm ready. Like, there's no, I never, like I said, I've never been the type to be like, oh, I wanna, I'm gonna fight for a man, because I don't believe in that. Or the type that been like, man hungry. But I believe in love. I believe that. I believe that love, not only for myself, because I love me, okay, but love of another person besides your kids and your family. You need that partnership, You need someone to hold you and comfort you and truly care for you. You can't fuck yourself. No matter the rose, the dildo, that don't feel the same. I mean, you might have a girlfriend who you pretended to be BFF with, and she might lick the kitty, but nah, you need that hard chest, that warmth vein, and you need it slow and passionately, so you can squeeze out those juice out of you, because those juice, they will bottle up and be right here on your chest, baby. So I know he's out there, and I know he sees me. I know he's my new husband, which I try to hold out for you, but they both were whispering in my ear and your ear, and they wanted you to believe that I was a fast woman, or I was out here just slinging it to everybody and just anybody, because that's what they wanted you to feel like, that I wasn't who I say I am. And they have been trying their best to make it into reality, so they can say to you, hey, see, we told you she was a woman of the night, she was doing this and that, and you don't deserve to be with this kind of a woman. But you gotta make, well, if you are anything like me, and because I'm not a follower, and I don't care about sitting at the popular table, as you guys can see. I mean, it would be nice. I like the fancy things. Don't get me wrong. I like the nice vacation. I like the nice home, the fancy cars, the foreign cars. I like the jewelry. I like the expensive wigs, so I ain't got to do my own hair. I could have the lace, so I ain't got to. Well, this is practice hair anyway, so I'm practicing on how to do sewing. But who knew your girl was so talented? Like, what? I love being a colored woman, because like we are so versatile, like, and so talented. Like, I didn't even know I could do this. And the more and more I get to know myself, it's like the more I get to especially get to be better. And so I don't know, I just feel like if you're anything like me, you are a bad motherfucker. But you might be the opposite of me in one way, where you automatically get popularity and people like you. Me, yeah, they trying to like do your girl in. But with you, I feel like you get more of a popularity. People tend to be more. I guess you're my. I'm what they call it, yin yang. You know. So, but I'm a tough little cookie, and I'm a leader. So I know you are a leader. You know, and I'm a businesswoman because I had three business, and I'm still going. And so, therefore, and I feel like the reason why they don't want us to come together is because they know if me and you come together, we gonna build an empire. And I know you, Coon. What's that guy? That is it? Seagull? No, that's not Seagull. What football team is that? What the guy? What's that guy that's saying I eat Coon? I can't get that out of my head. The Seattle Seahawk. Oh, I don't know who that is. That's not him. Anyways, I just saw him on TV. Every time I see him on TV or on social media, all I hear him say is, "Oh, I eat coon." I'm like, what is coon? And then I saw what coon was. I was like, oh hell nah. Now I can't. Every time I see him, that's the voice that come on my head. Coon. That man's so country, and I love it. But I was like, what coon? I never seen that. That's the kind of shit that just be like, what? Yeah. Anyways, that's my ADD. I just saw it on TV, but I just, I don't know. Like, I want you guys to not give up on love. Don't give up on love. Don't waste your time fitting into the whole negative energy that you're too old to be this and that. Oh, you're too old to not settle down with whoever wants to be with you, whether you are a man or woman, or you're too low value to demand that you want a man, not a millionaire now, but hey, you never know. Some women looks are different, some men looks are different. You might be at an income level and you might meet a millionaire. Who is to say? But you gotta be, you know, you can't be in La La Land, do Lululand like that. You just gotta be like, okay, I'm gonna put it out there. I just don't want you to give up on love. I don't want you to give up on what you want, because what you want might actually want you, might actually be thinking about you. So, and therefore, don't listen to those that be like, oh, well, you never know that person don't want you because of this and that. How the hell do they know? If you thought of someone and you happen to see them come either through your reality in person or social media or just like anywhere, that's your self letting you know that somewhere along the line you guys did have an interaction or did meet. Otherwise, your memory or yourself would not have given you that vision or that memory or that, you know, insight for you to be thinking of that person or that thing. It's because, like they say, the old saying, you had it or you have it. You just have to recall it or to remember it or something like that. Yeah. But as you guys see, I redid my hair because I was like, no. I saw the other video. I don't know. I redid it. I don't know. I redid the back. Redid the back of it. And now I can put it up in a ponytail better. Yeah. Had a shave. So I redid the front. Yeah, I redid my sewing because I was looking at my other video. I was like, oh my God, I could see my own hair sticking out. And I didn't like it. So now, and I even trimmed it down. I think I said that before when I started this video, but I just keep getting better and better, with everything in life. And I'm gonna leave this by saying, if someone that you were intimate with choose to not appreciate what you both shared, and just leave it as is. Don't blame yourself, don't blame the other person. Just bury the bad and keep what was good and move forward. The point of it all is to move forward, and don't beat yourself down, because some people, they maliciously are, you know, they maliciously try to hurt you, because hurt people, or sometimes they just don't know what they're doing. And it is up to yourself to say, hey, you know what, the good time has end. It is time. It's, you have to step in and be like, oh, I recognize what's going on, and you have to say, I love myself better than this person. You can't get dick whoop. You cannot get pussy whooped to the point where you are forgetting about yourself. But that doesn't mean to say don't enjoy the moment. Don't, when you at the moment, when you getting digged down and loved and caressed and kissed and, you know, you know, free your mind and enjoy every ripple of his tongue, every drop of his spit on top of your clit. Enjoy the moment of her looking up at you while she give you fellatio or whatever it's called. Every time you pull on her hair and make her gag on it. Enjoy the moment that you guys had together. Okay? When you in that moment and you are both feeling comfortable and at ease, and you both are on the same level, this is what we're going to do for each other. Be mind free, or thought free, and really really take that moment and enjoy every part, every touch, every goosebump that person gives you, and take that moment with you, and leave the rest as is. If they were meant to be in your life for a season, then leave it as that. If they were meant to be in your life for forever, then you were, excuse me, then you were given a precious gift. But either way, you were given a precious gift. Was that moment. All right. I had this on. I just came from my little date, and I was like, oh, I'm finna go on live. But then my camera stick broke. I have my little shorts on. You know what I'm saying? My little shorts. Ooh. My little shorts. Wait a minute. Itch. You motherfucker. You just don't want me to shine, do you, ho? You hating ass bitch. Huh? Look at you. You see that? Y'all saw that? It's about to fall. Yeah, it's gonna fall. It don't want me to shine, y'all. So I gotta. You see what I mean? Even the energy through the phone is crazy. That phone say, oh, you gonna get up? You gonna get up? Did we tell you to get up? Yeah, you see my hair though? Oh my God, can you believe it? Look, I don't know how I look in the back, but I think I did better than what it was. Yeah, I did better than what it was. And it's moving. Because the other day, it was not moving. On my live last night, it was not moving. And I kind of like trimmed it to take the weight off. Yeah, I like it. I gotta show off. I shut up. Yeah, let me go because my phone is acting so weird right now. Not my phone, but my camera. I just paid $20 for this